This video is based on my learnings from the book The Bogleheads Guide to Investing. The book shares timeless investing principles and outlines a clear, disciplined path to financial freedom. Most people believe financial success comes from earning more, finding the best investment, or predicting the market. History, however, tells a different story. A long-term study in the United States shows that out of every 100 people who work until the age of 65, one becomes truly wealthy. 4 achieve financial independence, and 95 retire dependent on others. Not because they didn't earn enough, but because they never truly understood how money works. Why income alone doesn't create wealth? Income is what you earn. Wealth is what you keep. Two people can earn the same salary. One builds wealth, the other struggles for life. The difference is not intelligence, it is behavior. Broadly, people fall into 3 categories: borrowers, consumers, keepers. Borrowers live a grand life by living above their earnings. They buy things on credit. A large part of their income goes into EMIs and repayments. From the outside, life looks comfortable, even successful, but over time they often end up with negative net worth. Consumers avoid debt. They earn, they spend, and they live their lives, but they spend almost everything they earn. There is no intentional saving or investing. Life runs smoothly until income stops. And then there are keepers. A keeper focuses on net worth, not income. They save and invest at least 10% of what they earn, no matter how small the income is. They consciously live below their means. Over time, they convert income into assets. This is how wealth is quietly built. What comes before investing? Before investing even 1 rupee, there are a few things that matter more than returns. First, shift from an income mindset to a net worth mindset. Income can stop. Wealth, once built, continues to work for you. The moment you start tracking net worth instead of salary, your financial decisions automatically improve. Second, eliminate high-interest debt before investing. Credit card dues or high-interest personal loans. These are not manageable debts. They are wealth destroyers. Clear them first, because there is no guarantee that your investments will earn more than the interest you are paying on these loans. Debt-free investing is far more powerful than leveraged investing. Third, build an emergency fund. Life is unpredictable. For example, a broken air conditioner, a medical bill, a car repair. These expenses don't come with warnings. An emergency fund ensures that short-term problems don't turn into long-term financial damage. And on top of this, have the right insurance in place to protect against life's bigger uncertainties. Why consistency beats intensity? Compounding works best with time. Albert Einstein reportedly called compounding the 8th wonder of the world. But compounding demands 3 things: time, patience, and discipline. Learn how money grows with time. Understand that the longer you hold, the growth itself grows. Understand the rule of 72. This is a good way to quickly understand the relationship between money, time, and return. The rule of 72 states that by dividing 72 by your return rate, you get to know how long money takes to double. For example, at 9% interest rate, it takes 8 years to double your money, because 72 divided by 9 is equal to 8. Start investing early and have a minimum target of saving at least 10% of income. This is not easy. It requires some sacrifice. You have to delay gratification, but living below your means is not a punishment. It is a freedom in disguise in the long run. Do you really know what you own? When you invest, you must clearly understand what you are buying. Let us start with stocks. They represent ownership in businesses. When you buy a stock, you own a small part of a company. Companies first offer their shares to the public through an initial public offer, or IPO. After that, these stocks are bought and sold every day on the stock exchange through what is called the secondary market. Next is bonds. They are very different. When you buy a bond, you are lending your money, expecting a series of payments in return. The borrower could be a government or a corporation. In return, they pay you a fixed rate of interest for a fixed period of time. At the end of that period, your principal is returned. Bonds are primarily meant to provide income and stability. Third, Mutual funds invest in a basket of stocks or bonds. Broadly, they fall into two categories: active funds and passive funds. Active funds try to beat the market. A fund manager actively selects stocks they believe will perform well. Passive funds simply track an index. An index is nothing more than a list of stocks used to measure the performance of the overall market. In India, for example, the Nifty 50 tracks the top 50 listed companies. The Boglehead philosophy favors simplicity, low cost, broad diversification, and long-term holding. And one timeless rule: if you don't understand an investment, don't buy it. Curiosity builds wealth. Be curious and learn how your investments work, and that keeps emotions out of investing and helps you make rational, long-term decisions. How inflation quietly erodes wealth. Inflation quietly steals your purchasing power. Your money may feel safe in a savings account, but what it can buy today, it may not be able to buy a few years from now. When money does not grow, it slowly loses value. This is why investing is not just about returns, it is about protecting your future purchasing power. Ignoring inflation is one of the costliest mistakes investors make. Over long periods, investors need assets that can at least keep pace with inflation while still matching their risk tolerance and time horizon. The goal is not to chase high returns, but to ensure your money retains its real value over time. How much money is enough to retire? There is no single number that works for everyone. How much you need depends on several factors: your age, how much you save, how much you earn, your lifestyle, your target retirement age, and the impact of inflation over time. This is why personal financial planning matters. Today, there are many simple online tools that can help estimate how much you may need based on your goals and assumptions. But no calculator can replace discipline and consistency. And remember, inheritance is not a plan, and luck is not a strategy. Placing your retirement on expected inheritance is not a wise choice. 1. You may not get your inheritance when you actually retire. And 2, you would not know how to emotionally manage the money when you actually retire. And financial freedom is not about having a large amount of money. It is about knowing that your money can take care of you. Keep it simple. Complexity rarely improves returns. For most investors, index investing can form the core of the portfolio, creating a simple and largely automated approach that reduces the impact of behavioral mistakes. In life, we are often told to aim for the best, follow your heart, and act fast. These may be good principles for personal growth, but they are not exactly the best principles to be followed for investing. Trying to find the best fund or the best investment usually adds unnecessary complexity. In most cases, investors are better off owning the market through low-cost index funds. Following your heart in investing often means making decisions driven by emotion, and acting too fast or too often leads to excessive buying and selling. This creates higher taxes, higher costs, thus impacting your long-term returns. Asset allocation is the cornerstone of investing. It answers two simple questions: what should I invest in, and how much should I invest in each asset? Asset allocation ensures you do not put all your eggs in one basket. It creates diversification across asset classes. Diversification is not about maximizing returns, it is about surviving different market cycles. When one asset performs poorly, another may perform better, helping balance the overall portfolio. Markets are efficient. Information is reflected quickly, often faster than individuals can react. Remember, no one consistently predicts markets, not experts, not professionals, not algorithms. Simplicity works because disciplined behavior stays intact, and hence focus on low-cost index investing. How much risk can you truly live with? There is a clear relationship between risk and returns. In general, higher risk is associated with the possibility of higher returns. But risk also means volatility. If two investments offer similar long-term returns, most investors would prefer the one with lower volatility. This natural preference of low-risk investments is called risk aversion. Before you begin investing, you must ask yourself a few important questions. What are my goals? What is my time horizon? And how much volatility can I realistically tolerate? Understanding your risk tolerance is essential before building a portfolio. costs matter far more than most investors realize. There is a common belief that higher fees mean higher quality. This is especially untrue in investing, and particularly with mutual funds. Investors pay many types of costs: expense ratios, commissions, exit loads, and the largest cost of all is often taxes on profits. Every unnecessary cost permanently reduces the power of compounding. Higher cost does not mean higher quality, especially in investing. This is why long-term discipline matters. Time in the market matters far more than timing the market. How do you stay disciplined? When everything is noisy. Most financial media exist to create noise and excitement, not clarity. Headlines are designed to sell fear and urgency. Neither helps in building long-term wealth. Chasing past returns is one of the fastest paths to disappointment. Past performance is almost never a guarantee of future results. A fund that performs well one year may underperform the next. We have seen this repeatedly across different funds and market cycles. Building wealth is not about hitting sixes, it is about steady singles, leaving bad balls and occasionally scoring a boundary. Greed destroys discipline. Discipline protects compounding. Education plays a critical role in long-term financial success. Investing in learning and skill development often delivers the highest returns. This applies to parents, teenagers, and adults alike. Any money received as a gift can be meaningfully directed towards education and personal growth. Starting early makes a big difference. Windfalls deserve special attention. A large sum of money, from a bonus, inheritance, or insurance payout, has the power to change lives. But it also brings strong emotions. A simple, disciplined response helps. First, do nothing for 6 months. Keep the money in a separate account and allow emotions to settle. Second, estimate what you truly need and can reasonably afford. Third, create a wish list. Not to spend immediately, but to bring clarity. Finally, consult a professional to help structure a long-term plan. Time creates distance from emotion, and guidance brings perspective. Are you in control of your financial decisions? Brokers benefit when you trade more. You benefit when you trade less. Handing over full control of your money without understanding the basics can be risky. Even when you work with an advisor, the responsibility for your finances ultimately remains yours. Stay curious. Learn how money works. Understand the decisions being made on your behalf. Over time, aim to take greater ownership of your financial life. Whether you manage everything yourself or work with an advisor, informed participation matters. Rebalancing helps restore discipline. It gently encourages selling assets that have grown too large and adding to those that have fallen behind. This keeps your asset allocation within planned limits and helps manage overall risk over time. Reducing noise is just as important. Constant media coverage and forecasts create distraction, not clarity. No one can consistently predict the future. Many forecasts also come wrapped as sales pitches. Trust your plan. Avoid chasing hot stocks or so-called multi-baggers, and focus on mastering your emotions. What is wealth really for? At the same time, investing is not about being excessively frugal. It is important to enjoy life without letting spending get out of control. Wealth is meant to support life, not replace it. Careful planning helps create this balance. Today, many simple tools can help estimate how much income or corpus may be needed to sustain a desired lifestyle in retirement. Protection plays an equally important role. Safeguard what you cannot afford to lose: life, health, disability, and property. One unexpected event can undo decades of disciplined effort. At the same time, do not postpone living forever. Enjoy your wealth, but do not let consumption own you. Balance is the real goal. Everyone makes mistakes in investing. That's normal. What matters is starting early and being consistent. Have patience. Invest in low-cost assets. Maintain emotional control. Make a plan. Stick to it. Track it. Rebalance it. Make some mistakes, but learn from it. Believe in yourself. Start early. Stay disciplined. Your life. Your path. Go live it.